Hello everyone, thanks for joining us for this brief overview of our SkyTrack MobileCom solution. This demonstration is intended to give you an inside look at how the software works and how it can help your transportation company become more efficient. Let's get started. SkyTrack is the MobileCom system we developed to run on an Android device, a phone, or a tablet. It seamlessly integrates with the Prophecy dispatch system. Load information is sent to SkyTrack. The driver then updates that information and it flows directly back to the Prophecy dispatch system. In addition, GPS positions are captured by the mobile device, and those positions are also sent back to the dispatch system, where the load position is updated and check calls are created. Let's take a look at how SkyTrack integrates with the Prophecy dispatch system. First, let's go to load 8661. We'll open the load and we can see this is a load that goes from Albany, New York to Dean Manufacturing in Chicago, Illinois. It's a load of detergents, 45,000 pounds, 24 pallets, 4,500 pieces. If we look in the billing detail, we can see a PO number, we can see a reference number, and if we look in the load header, we can see some special instructions for the driver. Let's go ahead and assign a driver to the load. We're going to assign driver Andrews, and let's go ahead and assign a trailer as well. So we now have a driver, tractor, and trailer assigned to the load. You'll notice that next to the driver, there's a little MobileCom device. This is telling me, the dispatcher, that this driver is equipped with SkyTrack. So I don't have to call that driver and give him the load information or send him an email, because the load information will either be automatically sent out to him, or I can go into our mobile communication manager and push the information out. That's all based on a preference setting. Let's come into the assign loads and we can now see load 8661 right here. So we'll go into operations, mobile communications. Here's load 8661 and we'll go ahead and hit send, and that load is now being queued up and will be sent out to the driver. We can see that the load has been sent. And if we refresh the screen, we can see it tells us that the load has been sent to our mobile device. We'll now bring our phone up on the screen to take a look at it. This is an actual Android phone that is running through an emulator, so you can see it on my computer. We can see the SkyTrack application is running, and we can see load 8661. We can see the pickup date, the 20th at 7 o'clock. We can see the origin city state, the destination city state, and the last time the load was updated. All your driver will do is tap the load, and we can see the load opens. Now, based on your preference settings in the dispatch system, the driver is going to see specific information, both on the load level and on the stop level. So I can see that it's telling him to see Paul at Albany for the paperwork. I'm giving him a place to enter the actual seal number or the actual trailer number that he picks up at Albany. Let's take a look at the first pickup, which is at Albany Distribution. So I'll tap on that and that will open up. We can now see some additional information about the pickup. We can see it's stop number 1 on the load. It is the pickup. We can see the trailer number, the name of where we're picking up, the address, the city, the state, the reference number, the scheduled arrival time, date and time. When the driver arrives to make up the pickup, you can configure SkyTrack where there's either a button that the driver pushes saying that he arrived, another button they would push saying he actually departed. In this case, I'm actually giving the driver the ability to select the date that he arrived, the date and time. So I'm going to go ahead and select today's date, and I'm going to go ahead and select the current time that I arrived. I'm going to scroll down, and if I get a bill of lading number, I'm going to touch the application once again, and I'm simply going to go ahead and enter in the bill of lading number. I can continue to scroll down, and if I want my driver to enter in actual weight, pallets, pieces, I can have the driver do that. So let's say my driver arrived and it was actually 44,000 pounds. And there were only 23 pallets, and it was 4,450 pieces. And I'm going to go ahead and set that, and I'm going to go ahead and save it. That information is then automatically going to be sent back to the dispatch system, either through the cellular network that your phone or tablet is on, or if the driver is connected to a Wi-Fi, it would go through Wi-Fi. So let's go ahead and minimize the emulator. And I'm just going to run my mobile communication manager to speed up this process. Normally, the mobile communication manager would be installed on your server, and it would automatically cycle every X number of minutes to go ahead and look for additional data or new data on the server, and it will bring that data right into the dispatch system. The data would then flow into the system and would automatically update your loads. What I'm going to do today, instead of having it automatically flow in, I'm going to show you how we could manually just go and process that information. So I've come to receive load updates. You can see all the information that I just entered for load 8661 on the SkyTrack application on the phone is right here. I'm going to select it, click update. We'll close that. I'm going to click on refresh. We can see load 8661 is no longer an assigned load. We'll come to our en route loads, and we can see right here is load 8661. It's changed from assigned to en route or picked up because the driver entered that he arrived and departed from the pickup location. If we double click on the load, we can see that the information's been updated. The weight, the pallets, the pieces are all updated. We can also see the bill of lading number is filled in, and we can see the actual pickup time for the load is filled in as well. So as the driver continues down the road, SkyTrack will continually update the position of the driver. That information will be updated every 15 to 20 minutes depending on some variable preferences that you can configure in the system. When the driver arrives to make the actual delivery, once again, let's bring up our emulator. So let's say our driver arrives to make the delivery. He'll tap to open the load. And we're arriving at Dean Manufacturing in Chicago, so we'll go ahead and open that up. And we'll say I'm arriving right now. And I'll go ahead and put the time in as well. Once again, if you do want your drivers to have a button that you push saying arrived or departed, you can configure the system that way as well. Now, the next thing I want the driver to do is to get a POD signature. So we can bring up our sign box, and the person receiving the load will go ahead and sign it. And if you can't read the signature, we can type in the actual name. We'll accept that. We'll click set. We'll save it. And once again, that information is going to cycle back through the SkyTrack server down into your dispatch system and update the load. And we'll just go ahead and once again cycle our mobile communication manager. Keep in mind, as I said earlier, this would all happen automatically in your system. You would not have to process this manually. And we'll go into operations, mobile communications, receive load updates. We can see the information that was updated on the load. We'll go ahead and select it. We'll click update, and we'll refresh this view, and we can see that load has fallen right off in its incompleted loads. So the load got assigned to the driver was able to update the arrival, the departure, the actual goods on the load will track the driver all the way through. The driver arrives to make the delivery, can go ahead and enter that information, the load can complete itself. So 80–90% of the normal verbal communication you would have with your driver and dispatcher, dispatcher and driver, can be eliminated through the SkyTrack system. Now that POD, that signed POD that we got, if we go into our Document Imaging Center, and we'll bring up load 8661, and we can see right here is our signed POD with our load number, the date and time it was delivered, the address it was delivered to. We can see the PO number, the bill of lading number, the shipper, the consignee, what was delivered, and the signature and the name of the person that signed for the load. So if you need to send out a signed POD with your invoice, you've got this right here in the dispatch system already. There are 3 total components to SkyTrack. There's the mobile portion that we just looked at, and then there's 2 web-based components as well. Let's take a look at those web-based components now. The first web component we're going to look at is the Driver Work Center. In the Driver Work Center, you can see 1 or more drivers. You can see specifically where the driver or drivers are located now, or you can see a route that the driver or drivers had taken. Here I'm looking at driver Kevin and what he's done for the last 24 hours. So I can see the first dot I have here is a green dot, and that shows that last night at 8:18 he was doing 39 miles per hour, and he was located at 824 South Quaker Lane, or passing by 824 South Quaker Lane in West Hartford, Connecticut. And I can see this red dot with a circle is telling me that that driver's been stopped at 29 Griffin Road South in Bloomfield, Connecticut for the last 11 hours and 15 minutes. If I just wanted to see where the driver is located, I could unclick the tracks and I can just see the red dot. We also have a number of reports in the Driver Work Center. We have both activity reports detailed in summary, mileage reports detailed in summary, mile per hour reports, and stop reports. You can zoom in, you can zoom out in this Driver Work Center. You can look at different views, a road view. You can look at a truck view, which is going to give you more specific exit numbers on the roads, or you can look at a satellite view. The second component on the website is the Delivery Work Center. And the Delivery Work Center is where you can give your customers exposure to the loads that you are moving for them. You can set up specifically what data you want them to see or don't want them to see. On the map over here, if you look at the legend, they can see the green push pin is the origin of the load. The red push pin is the final destination of the load. And the little box is the actual shipment information. And if I put my cursor over that, you can see the load number. You can see it's been delivered. We can see the contents of it and when it was delivered and the last known position. A paperclip next to a load indicates that there's some documents associated with that load. These are documents that can be uploaded automatically from your Prophecy dispatch system. In this case, we can see there's a POD for a load. However, you may want to automatically upload BOLs, invoices, scale tickets. Any type of document that you have in your dispatch system can be automatically uploaded to the Delivery Work Center. And that's an inside look at SkyTrack. Please don't hesitate to reach out to our team with any questions you might have. We can be reached by phone at 800-776-6706 or by email at moreinfo@mile.com. We look forward to hearing from you.